I have never seen the vegetation on mainland St. Vincent so green and so lush. The black sand beaches are unique to the island. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. Welcome to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The indigenous name of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is Hairuna. It means home of the blessed. We have destinations that's second to none in the world. Some of the most beautiful beaches, resourceful people. Seen the vegetation on mainland St. Vincent so green and so lush. So the black sand beaches are unique to the island. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
Carnival is in the
Friday, May 17th.
Up Bay Street comes alive
with stand rhythm as we unleash the vibrancy and magic of Vincent 2024, along with the ICC World Cup Trophy Tour. Dive into the hottest carnival in the Caribbean, where the infectious sounds of calypso and soca music fills the air.
The sweet sounds of steel pans spread across the streets, accompanied by the energy of Mardi Gras.
Come and experience the thrill,
the nostalgia,
and the unforgettable moments of the World Cup Trophy Tour.
You're invited to unleash the spirit and dance into the heart of the celebration
as we launch Vincent 2024
on Friday 17th at Upper Bay Street. Get ready to unleash the runs and the rhythm,
the vibe, the energy, and the pace.
Carnival again, say we love play. Martin we playing, say we love play.
Welcome to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The indigenous name of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is Hairuna. It means home of the blessed. We have destinations
Windward.
Some of the most beautiful beaches, resourceful people. I have never seen the vegetation on mainland St. Vincent so green and so lush. So the black sand beaches are unique to the island. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
Here we go.
Welcome back to the Parker Playing Field live coverage of this practice game. Nepal taking on the Little Islands Volcanoes, and it's still a lovely day here at Park Hill. The sun is out in all of its glory, and we are just awaiting the resumption of the game. Certainly, the Little Island Volcanoes to respond to that 179 posted by Team Nepal. Jalo, 179 on the board. There you see the Nepal team. Captain Rohit Pradel, of course, having a bit of a convo and some inspirational words, certainly to get his teammates onto the field. But the field, sorry, with the small outfield that we have here today, that it's a target that is achievable.
Totally, it is achievable, and I'm sure the Windwards will fancy themselves getting up to 180, as we see umpires Butler and Bayam making their way out to the middle for the Windward Island Volcanoes, who are going to come out to do battle. First game, 196. Melius.
Well, the two openers are making their way into the middle. Captain Melius, along with, I'll get that for you in a bit. So yes, Charles, I was just saying the two teams are out into the middle. Windward Island Volcanoes now preparing to respond to the 179, chasing a target of 180. And I believe it's Captain Melius out there. We try to get the player who has that number 45 shirt, on his shirt for the Windward Islands. But meantime, Nepal, they're in the middle. And looks as if it's going to be Bohara to get things going from the southern end here at the Parker playing field. So Milius and Ogis.
And Ogis.
Right.
Akim Ogis.
The two openers for the Windward Islands Volcanoes as Bohara. That number 10 shirt just picking up that white ball and making sure that his mark is fully in place. To bowl this the first delivery of the Windward Islands response, chasing a target of 180. And doesn't seem as if he's quite ready. There's just one or two little adjustments being made. Captain Badel is close by, not on screen, but pretty much close by in a mid-off position.
Look like some pal who is going to pick it up from the southern end.
So Race is in. Want to play down into that shot. Well, it's more or less in a gully position almost. And no run off the bat. So, Wooden Islands yet to get off the mark. So there you see Nepal 179 for 9. And the Volcanoes chasing a target of 180. This delivery. Menace walks it off his pads and player there in that short middle position slipped in the process and giving away 2 runs and some scrappy work in the field by Nepal.
Very scrappy work very early in the innings. Easy what should have been an easy single. He gave away that extra run. So Melius is off the mark. That would do his confidence a world of. And no batter likes to be a knot. And he would have to lead from the front for the Windward Island Volcanoes try to get up to 180.
So back to the top of his run. And now turns. Race is in. This one outside the off stump and cracked. That's third man position, but the third man well in place, well in behind it. And
Auguste comes in to strike for the very first time. So there's a left-hand, right-hand combination here for Windward Island Volcanoes. And this could be a little problematic sometimes for some bowlers because you do have to change your line to the left and right hand combination. And if you're not really on top of your game, you can find yourself under some pressure.
So Auguste settles. And the ball that is whipped into the onside. And again, you see that misfield, Captain Padel this time around. And that is something that the Nepalese team will certainly need to work on and work on very quickly if they would want to restrict the Windward Islands from achieving that target.
Well, I think that single was a bit risky. Had he picked it up cleanly, I think Auguste could have found himself in some trouble. But in the end, he got in very safely because not seeing the Nepalese picking up the ball, I think creating the Cardinals enough taking their eye off the ball at the last minute.
This one, Melius plays it neatly off his pass to that deep square leg position. And just one more added to the total. High throw coming in, but the wicketkeeper looking quite athletic, blocking it out of there, goalkeeper style. And just one more added is 5 now for the loss of wicket in this, the first over being bowled by Sampal. Whether the Volcanoes chasing a target of 180. And of course, Captain Bell leading from the front for the Nepalese. Sampal, what should be the final delivery of this first over down the leg side, and this is a wide. And they take a run in the process, so that's 2 more added to the total. And the delivery certainly that has to be rebowled. Wide now being signaled there. So 7 without loss. And Sampal, fairly good first over, keeping the batsman in check apart from that wide delivery just a while ago. And this time we'll be bowling to Melius. Outside the off stump and driven square. Good piece of work there by, looks like Irie. Taken. That's the end of the first over. 7 from the first, and fairly good start there from Nepal.
Yeah, I think a pretty good start indeed. But Melius would just have to just look to place the ball a little better. I think he was looking to hit it too hard, and in the end, hitting it straight to a feelers rather than just delaying the shot a bit and looking for the gap. Had opportunities to do a bit of scoring, but that's how it is.
Well, it was outside the off stump and it sat up. Got back to ball, but as you said, really and truly should have looked to gone between that point and gully field, or even a little bit more to the right of the point there, and no run resulting. But we're going to have the second over this 20. As a nice breeze continue to flow into our commentary position. And picking up the attack. Like, is it Prakash? Comes in now to bowl to Agis. And on that he works into the onside. With on in position. Not a problem.
Ogis had been timing the ball well. He'd been striking it very well, but hitting it thus far straight to the fielder.
And that's the wind doing a bit there with the bail. Batsman immediately realizing it. Had to pull out. So practice it is. From the hills here at Park Hill. Races pass umpire Butler. This wasn't driven. Again, well driven. But finding the fielder in that short, well, mid-off position.
Well, again, we see the fielder not picking it up. It was hit very firmly indeed, and Ogis was still looking for that single. And again, it was Captain Padel, and the guilty offender.
Well, again, it's an area that's Nepal as they prepare for World Cup 2024, T20 World Cup that they'll need to certainly work on. In this game, one run can determine the difference between winning and losing. And if you give them a the field, they certainly will pay in the end. As there's Captain Melius as Pratis now comes in, and that should have taken something because there's no signal there from the umpire.
Maybe pushing the pad on its way through.
So
keep standing up and good take down the leg side. Remove the bail. The batter foot was grounded.
Well, we've seen three deliveries thus far in this over, just one run, and Melius and Ogis will probably want to get things going. Outside the off stump. Nice throwing off, square the wicket. Oh, lovely runs into the backward point fence, shallow.
That was sweet. The sound off the bat, the placement, it's about everything about that shot was perfect. And Melius really showing his class.
So, boundary there to the Windward Volcanoes skipper, Kimano Melius, quite a young cricketer. And it's good to see him being given the opportunity to lead at this level as a practice. Oh, once again. And down the leg side is allowed.
Well, umpire's butler says not out, but I was looking at that back leg. That's very close to the line. Let's see. Down the leg side. Good. It's a very, I think he might have been lucky there. Just had a little bit behind that line. And umpire Afran Bayan in perfect position. He said not out. And Melius lives to fight on. Again, that's into the pads. And a single. Airy coming through, not picking up. Again, that single. A leg by umpire Butler. The over comes to an end. So he's after 2 overs, 12 without loss. And Melius might have find himself a bit lucky.
Very much so, Charlo. But at 12 after the first 2, just 6 runs per over. Sort of a from the 2 offense for Windward Islands Volcanoes. And they will certainly want to put on. You don't want to have a situation later on down where you have a run rate of 12 and 13 and 14 plus. Yes, of course, we know that there's some big hitters and Volcanoes. But that start is so very much important in terms of immediately putting the opposition on that back foot.
Definitely, and they would want to. These two would want to do that. Both St. Lucians, they should know each other well, and would really want to put a good start on the cards that the others can build on.
Somehow this time the ball to Melius, and he's back. The defense just pushing it back up along the pitch. And we're resulting 13 for no loss in this over number 3. So the ICC trophy, of course, here in St. Vincent and Grenadines arrived at the Argyle International Airport. Today was on the windward side of the island.
Well, in fact, prior to the start of the game, they passed through for viewing, and so they were on the field for a while.
Walked through the material, and it's gonna get close to that fence. Let's see if Peter can pick it up. No, he can't. So that's 4 well taken runs there by
raced over the outfield. 2 fielders trying to converge, but it went between both of them and across the ropes and into the fence for 4. That's the second boundary for Melios. So he would want to continue the good works for the Windward Islands.
Went between both of them.
Sompal back to the top of his mark.
And so he will want to continue the good works for the Windward Islands.
5, some 12 runs. Melius looking to come down, but this one doesn't even short and jumped at him. And good work there by Sompal.
Yeah, good thinking on the part of Sompal. Saw him moving and he banged it short. Good bounce, good carry, and Melius had to watch it go by and taken cleanly by the keeper standing. So good carry for the keeper. So his have been very, very true. And the bounce, the pace, and certain is a pace that you can play through the line. And once he's up in the slot, Melius, I'm sure, will go with it.
This one is down the leg side and will be signaled wide. It is signaled wide. And 1 more to the total, 8 for no loss. This the third over. I believe 2.3 deliveries thus far. And Sompal
losing his radar.
Yes,
a bit.
I'm talking about losing the radar. We've lost a bit of the sunshine, but certainly that is the conditions here at Park Hill, as Sompal with that number 10 on his back outside the off stump and take the pace off of that one, Sompal. And Melius was somewhat seemed to be caught in 2 minds there. He eventually just poked at it and pushed it calmly into the offside. So any possible stumping went through the window as far as that is concerned. So
Hello?
just looking quite
Hello?
tentative there. And Lalit Rajvasi comes in now. This one he tucks nicely off the hip onto that short fine leg position and gets off to another 3 now to his total, and the 27 the score for the Winning Islands in the fourth over.
So there's rotation of the strike, the right hand, left hand combination. And Lalit will have to now bowl to the right hander. Let's see how what sort of line he will have. Previous delivery to the left hander was on the body. That would be a good delivery for the right hander.
So Captain Melia settles on weight. And this one he hikes high. That's going to go all the way over long off. That's 6 runs. And well taken shot there by Melius. He was to the pitch of it very quickly indeed and went through with the shot. Long off Jallo.
Well, he's showing his class, he's showing his intent. And that was tossed up and he lifted it over long off, who had some interest in it, but in the end, just watched it sailed over his head and over the ropes for 6.
So this is on to 26 as Lalit comes in. This time he just pushes it into the offside very quietly. Fielder comes around, picks up. Total remains on 33 without loss. The Winning Islands Volcanoes. It's been a measured start, but of course, Melius has been aggressive at times. And wrapped on the bad pad, going back there, and not out stays umpire. Loud appeal.
Seems to be going down the leg. Butler, experience of
former West Indies
player.
Yes.
Left arm fast medium bowler.
Lalit. This time punches into that point position. Fielder is there to cover. That's the end of over number 4. And at the end of it, it is a 33 without loss. The Winning Islands going to just over 8 runs.
You're playing against international teams.
It will hurt you and hurt you badly as far as that is concerned. Nepal would have taken the number 2 spot coming out of Asia. This one is swung high over long on into the bushes. As a matter of fact, it strikes the concrete structure
and
just above the ground.
Rebounded into the bushes. It was very hard indeed. But that was very interestingly because Airy has not tried to bowl this slow it up, flight the ball. He has pushed every delivery through, and they are actually playing him as a medium pacer, which makes life much easier for the batters.
So true. Much more easier, Charlo. 41 without loss, and this the 5th over. And Melius settles Airy. Had a good innings in the first game, scored 50 plus. That would have carried the Nepalese team home, but this one is now driven into the offside, and playing that short extra cover position comes around, picked up. Total remains on 41 without loss. Outside the off stump, and it was full pitched there from Mary.
I think Melius was looking at the umpire, hoping that it would be a wide.
Comes in once again. This one cracked, and 1-2 bounces into the long off area, and that's 4 well taken runs there from Melius.
So Melius continued to show his intent, and he's been striking the ball very well indeed. Airy not flighting the delivery, pushing them through, and Melius likes it as it comes onto the bat very nicely. And he's capitalizing on every opportunity he gets.
So after 5 overs, 45 for no wicket and 9 runs exactly per over, the run rate for the Windward Islands Volcanoes. And very good start indeed from this opening pair. Captain Kimano Melius, he's on 36 not out and just 4 from the bat of August. Of course, the bunch of the strike being taken up by Melius.
Well, definitely, and we see Lalit has been pulled out of the attack, and it looked like Pratis who comes back into the attack. He had 1 over, so he's coming back into the attack, and it's who the Ogis, who is really a spectator, who was a spectator now taking strike.
Take some strike. Here comes Pratis now to Ogis, and this one wraps him on the pad. He was looking to pull it somewhere over backward square leg, but didn't get the ball.
I don't think it was short enough for that kind of a shot. It would have been advisable to tuck it on the onside and pick up the ones. But he was looking to go over square leg and really missed it taking on the body.
Well, it's one of the dangers being a spectator at the other end. You sometimes do get a little raggedy, and we saw that there from Ogis. Let's see what happens this time around. Gets back onto the ball as he hoiks this one over long on, and got to get pretty close to the boundary. Picked up there now. They take 2 in the process as a throw comes in, and 2 more to the bat of Ogis. He's now on to 6. The Volcanoes there 47 without loss in this the 6th over. So nice little decent crowd here at Park Hill, and on Saturday we expect a huge turnout as practice comes in now. And that one was almost a baseball type shot,
and he gone all the way.
All the way.
So the 50 comes up.
53 without loss.
5.3 overs.
Good going by on the part of the Windward Island Volcanoes. And that one was hit with some sort of despair. Just walked into it and slapped it.
There it is.
There you go.
Slapped it over long off.
So 53 without loss as Rohit just having a brief 4 there with Pratis, Captain Rohit Padel, and Pratis will now coming now to Ogis. And this one he drives straight to mid-off. Padel
songed off the bat.
Yes, and it's good to see Padel sticking the ball without any bump.
Yeah, straight to the mid-off fielder, but that was it struck very firmly.
Yeah, lovely drive indeed there off the bat of Ogis. But unfortunately, he could only find the fielder at mid-off and Captain Rohit Padel.
I think 2 or 3 meters to the left or right, that would have gone to the fence.
Certainly. There's Pratis. And this one he pulls over mid-wicket. That is going to go out to the ground. It is into the banana field below. 6 well-taken runs.
But that was disdainfully hit. He just picked it up as if he was taking
food
candy from a baby and just dispatched it over mid-wicket.
So Ogis now getting into the run feast here. Of course, Captain Melius on 36, and there you see that pull way over mid-wicket. And 6 more runs to the total here for the Windward Islands, 59 without loss.
Perhaps he's saying to his captain, you can do it, I can do it better. And really, that was a disdainful shot.
Without a doubt. So just 1 ball remaining in this, the 6th over. And they're over 10 runs per over at this point in time. The Windward Islands Volcanoes, as we await the return of the ball. Both batsmen there on screen are looking into the area, that mid-wicket area, where the ball went over. I'm yet to see any uh, thing being done by the reserve umpire. So
Well, I think umpire Biome is down at the boundary edge of the wall. Not too sure. Perhaps there's some youngsters on that side to retrieve the ball. And he's looking because we have not seen the third umpire as yet
so
going out with any replacement. But certainly, what we have seen so far from the two games, it is that the faster bowlers seem to get hit about rather easily because the bounce is true. The ball comes on very nicely.
certainly.
And batters are comfortable playing through the line.
Well,
So I think the ball has been returned.
yes, it is. And there's the umpire making his way back into the middle. In the background, one of those lovely little houses here at Park Hill. A nice community indeed, and a sporting community.
Very much
Close to South Rivers, another community that loves their cricket. Produced former West Indies fast bowler Cameron Coffey.
definitely. Quite a few players coming out from the South Rivers. Butler, who played for the West Indies as well. South Rivers chap. Lyndon James, who played for the Windwards. We have seen him at Stanford.
Yes.
South Rivers as well. So there are a few names that you can look around and can speak of.
Well, Ogis is about to resume his innings as the ball has been returned, and here comes practice now. And this one off the edge, it will look like a bit of edge onto that one, down to that short third man position. That's the end of the sixth over. At the end of it, 59 for no loss. The Windward Islands are chasing 180 for victory, just under 10 runs for over.
Just under 10 runs and over, and I think it's a pretty good start by the Windwards, putting the early pressure on Nepal, and they would have to do some work. We see Melius just signaling to the pavilion. Perhaps he's going to done away with his helmet, and it's going to be Lalit who is going to pick it up from the southern end. So it's going to be spin, and Melius, he's comfortable. He decides, I'm going to done with the helmet, and I'm going to see how I can take charge. He's on 36, Ogis on 18, and really a good opening partnership. 50 coming in 5.3 overs.
Well, it was a little slow for the openers, especially in the first 2 overs. But since that third over, they've really taken to the attack of Nepal. And hence, of course, scoring at just about 10 runs over in the first 6. So, Lalit being switched from the northern to the southern end as the breeze blows across the outfield, and this one spoons off the face of the bat, not immediately the pitch of it, but nonetheless fell into a harmless zone there for Melius. He got a single in the process, rather.
Definitely a good delivery. Spinning across him is the left arm spinner, getting that one to go across the right hander. I think he was looking to tuck it on the onside, got a leading edge.
So, Lalit it is to continue. This time to Ogis. Tries. And this one is going to beat the fielder. The bounce would have undid him there. And that's 4 more runs.
Definitely, that it was stepped hard. It bounced in front of the fielder. Short, a diminutive guy. Bounced. He was jumping for all his worth. It went over his hands, across the ropes, and into the fence for 4. So Ogis continue to enjoy taking the attack to Nepal.
So here's Lalit once again. And this time he tries down to long off. And the fielder is on the fence there. 1 more to the total.
65 without loss. We're in over number 7.
So pressure definitely on the Nepalese team at this point in time. They don't want to see the back of one of these very, very soon. And there's Melius just gently tapping it into the onside. And Lalit seemed to be giving Mellis a bit of a worry. Still was not to the pitch of that one, shallow.
Yeah, well, he was content to just defend.
So let's see how he responds to this one. Again, pushing out and into that short mid-wicket position. The fielder comes off the fence. And there's one more added to the total. Now 67 for no loss. With Island Volcanoes in pursuit of 180.
66.
66 without loss. There's Lalit. And this one, in the end, good work there by Irie on the deep mid-wicket boundary. And getting that return in, just one more added to the total. Now on to 67.
So at the end of over number 7, 67, 80, 38 to Melios, 23, 24 to Ogis. And a very good start indeed by the Windward Islands.
Yes, the dressing room at this point in time for the Volcanoes should be pretty comfortable. The batters who are to come, the likes of Captain Hodge and company, certainly they will be feeling pretty, as I said, comfortable in the dressing room and under no immediate pressure at this point in time. But I believe these two will want to continue and get as close as possible to the 100 to make life even more easier for the batters to come.
Well, definitely. And there's a change in bowling at the far end, the northern end. It's going to be Gulshan.
Looks like Gulshan, yes.
Who is going to pick it up from the northern end, but he'll bowl to the left-handed Ogis, Hakeem Ogis.
So Gulshan, right arm, medium fast to Ogis. And Ogis just guides this one down to that short third man position and immediately off for the single. One more to the total, now 68 for no loss. Rhode Island Volcanoes in this, the 8th over. And Gulshan, there's him on screen. Inspects a ball and now turn. The number 15 bearing down on his back, races in now. This time to Melnus, drives. A lovely shot indeed. It looked easy, but it was a well-taken drive there by Melnus.
It was just, he caressed it through the covers and long off had a run, but you do get value for your shots, and it raced across the outfield, and in the end, he just watched it go across the ropes. So 42 now to Melios, really a good captain innings here and putting his team into a very good position.
Without a doubt, it's 72 without loss, and this the 8th over. And just caressed that one, but it seemed to just picked up speed as it made its way to the boundary. Gulshan. And this one goes square. They offer a quick single. And I believe Ogis would have been in.
Yeah, I think he would have been there comfortably. And so good judgment of the single there. He was backing up very quickly. And the total goes on to 73. So good cricket on the part of Windward Island Volcanoes.
So the scoring rate is, I believe, exactly 10 runs or over thereabouts. And Gulshan make his way back to the top of his mark. Ogis hots this one high. Is he going to beat the fielder? No, he doesn't. And a good take and catch there, keeping his eye on the rope. So there goes Ogis, gone for 25, looking to clear the long off fence, but didn't have enough on it. And slapping the pads as he make his way back, because he knew that there was an opportunity for him to probably press on and make even more for the Windward Islands today.
Well, definitely, I think he just stroked it rather than really putting some power behind it. You saw that on the replay, just stroked it and it went right a long way. And good judgment on the part of the fielder and taking that just in front of the ropes. And you can see him there just stabling himself as he looks down at the ropes. But so good judgment on the part of the fielder, and Ogis has to make his way back.
Am I seeing his foot on the rope there?
It's a bit difficult for us from this side to see, but
well,
I did a boundary check.
really close there. But Ogis is already back in the pavilion. There's no DSR here at Park Hill. We're just showing that for the benefit of our viewers. And your batsman is out.
Stephen Pascal.
Stefan Pascal. So 73 for the loss of one in this 8 over. But indeed a good start here for the Windward Islands. So it's Pascal to take his first knock. And beaten outside the off stump. He just pushed at it. Didn't really and truly move his feet there. Just pushed the bat to ball. And went through to wicketkeeper. Total remains on 73 for 1.
So a good partnership being broken there by Gulshan, as Ogis just stroked it and was caught on the long off boundary. He went for 25, and Pascal getting his first knock.
Yes, first knock for these games thus far. And this one, looking to guide it between the wicketkeeper and that gully fielder. They didn't get anything onto it. That's the end of over number 9. And at the end of it, it's 73 for 1. Windward Islands chasing 180. They are
really the end of over number 8.
Number 8. So
just about 9 runs and over.
Well, that's the required rate to take you up to 180. So they're at a good clip, the Volcanoes, as Lalit will continue from the southern end. As Captain Melius, he's not out on 43. No doubt will want to get to that 50 and then press on for the Windward Island Volcanoes to ensure that they take victory in the second game. Lalit. And Melius pulls one bounce down to long on and takes a single in the process. Total goes on now to 74. Of course, in the first game, when Nepal looked more or less dead and buried, the likes of Irie and Sampal plucked victory out of the air.
Definitely, and they took the faster bowlers to the cleaners.
Lalit. And this one bounced a bit at the batsman. And Pascal, due to the wicket, caught in a bit of a problem there, but in the end,
I think he's yet to get bat and ball.
There comes Lalit. This one is through the offside. Fielder comes off that extra cover boundary. And finally off the mark is Stefan Pascal. Grenadian player. Known more for his pace rather than handling the bat. So I'm a little surprised that he's in at number 3, but maybe just being given that opportunity. As Lalit comes in now to Melius. And Melius, this one off the edge is going to probably get into the boundary. He was looking to pull this one somewhere over mid-wicket, but it took the outside edge, and luckily for him, it didn't spoon or anything like that or went to any fielder. And raced down to the third man fence.
It flew down to third man and into the fence for 4. He goes on to 48. The total now on to 79. But I think he was lucky there.
Yeah, without a doubt, yes. Well, sometimes you need a bit of luck.
Yes, Lady Luck has followed him.
So, Lalit, as I said, seemed to be creating a bit of a problem for, and there you see the return ball striking Pascal. But Lalit comes in now, and this time he's to the pitch of it and works it into the onside. Fielding to his own bowling, there's Lalit. And Melius settles delivery that he rocks back and just forces into the offside. And for a moment, I thought he was going to go a little bit more to the left of Irie, but only found Irie in that cover provision. That's the end of over number 9, and at the end of it, it's 79 for 1.
79 for 1. So a good over indeed, I would say, on the part of Lalit, pulling things back a bit. And these two would have to just pace themselves as we look at a number of school children making their way into the pavilion.
It's very good for the youngsters to come and see cricket at this level. Nepal international team, of course, they're into their second World Cup in the Caribbean, and there you see even some of the young lasses being here at Park Hill. Charging down the wicket, there's Pascal. He gets one, and the fielders onto it. They're looking for the second, but that is not going to be. And total goes on now to 80. 80 for 1. And over number 10. And there we see some of the students. I believe they're from the Park Hill Government School.
Just around a few feet, 100 yards away from here.
That's Gulshan. Motos in. And this time wrapping the pad here of Melius. And there was no appeal. That was outside the off stump. So no threat to Melius. Just missed the ball completely.
I think it was a little bit too casual there in terms of the way he approached that. And he has to be very mindful. As a captain, you would want to see your team home.
Well, he's on 48. It's too short of that half century. As here comes Gulshan. And that's a loud appeal, but I believe the height there might have certainly helped Melius, but a good delivery from Gulshan.
He continues to create a bit of a problem for the batters, and they threw for a leg by.
Interesting to have a look at this replay. That's for the run out. There was absolutely no problem there, but I believe Melius was saved by the height that time around.
Yes, because he was going back, and I think it was above the knee roll, and I think umpire Butler just indicating the height.
Yes. So Pascal will now take strike. Charges down the wicket and straight into the arms of the fielder there at that whitish long on position. And Nepal came in the second wicket.
A good catch indeed. It was hit very firmly indeed, but straight to the fielder who judged it well. He charged the bowler. He hit it very firmly indeed. And there is the fielder just taking that catch in front of the ropes. Again, very close to the ropes, but I think from our vantage point, I was looking at it, I think he was quite safe.
Quite safe. And we saw that in the replay there as he tosses the ball back. So Grenadines losing their second wicket. That of Stefan Pascal. Not normally top order batter. And I was, asking the question as to why you're bringing Pascal at this point in time. But the dressing room will certainly have the rationale. He's gone on the less, and it's 81 for the loss of 2 in this the 10th over. So Melius is still there. Kimani Melius. So Kavem Hodge, the new batter. Batter at number 4 for the Windward Volcanoes. Gulshan in, and this one well played there by Hodge.
I'm looking at the structure. It certainly does not look like Kavem Hodge. Okay, Kabem Hodge was the batter who got out, and Pascal is now at the crease. So he's off the mark on 1, and well played here by Melios. He gets a single. He goes on to 49, and the total now on to 83. But it was the batter who got out.
Yeah.
I was looking at the number and it says Kabem Hodge, and Pascal is now making his way out. He's on 1.
So information being rectified with our scorers. So it's actually Stefan Pascal, the bat.
Yep.
Bertel.
Yes, Bertel is going to pick it up.
Yes, was on 49. And Melios gets that half century. Just caresses it down to backward point. Fielder comes around, picked up one more to the total. That's 50 to Melios as he raises his bat. And certainly getting a good applause from this appreciative crowd here at Park Hill. Northern Ireland's now on to 84 for the loss of 2 wickets in this the 11th over. And now Stefan Pascal is going to take strike. So here comes Bertel. Into Pascal. Pascal drives it into the offside. You can only find Irie, who's marshalling in that cover region.
So
that is true.
So Melios 50 coming off, 36 deliveries, 7 fours and 2 sixes.
Good going there by the Northern Ireland Volcanoes captain. 50 off 36. As this one is well fielded there by Bertel. And he's rubbing that left knee of his, would have been struck in the knee. And even more so as he dove to his left, you can see the remains of the dust from the pitch on his clothing.
Well, he's dusting himself off. But it was a very good stop on the part of Bertel there.
Well done. Comes in now, and at this time worked off the pad. Fielder comes in on mid wicket, and one more total now on to 85 for the loss of 2. So it's important that these two, and Melios, as we look at this replay once again, there's Bertel coming off with a good save, and I think he would have probably struck his knee into the pitch. That's primarily what happened a while ago. He's much better now, comes in now to bowl to Melios, and Melios hits this one high.
Someone is circling
find the
underneath
long
it.
off fielder. He does take the catch. So there goes the prize scalp of Melios just after completing his 50. Looking to go over long off. Didn't make it this time. Catch taken with an Islands 85 for 3.
Well, at top edge, and I was just going to make the point that Nepal just putting things back a bit, because the Windward Island Volcanoes, they were going at a pretty good clip. And that's the problem here. You lost a few wickets can really put you under pressure. And I think Nepal just about pulling things back here, as we can see Descarte making his way out.
And yet another good catch
And
on the ropes.
Right on the ropes.
The 3 dismissals have all been on the ropes.
Very close to the ropes as
very,
well.
Very, very close to the ropes. And on all occasions, the fielders doing some good work.
Good judgment on the part of the fielders.
So they've been good at the catching. A little scrappy in the outfield. But at 85 for 3, Nepal still very much in the hunt here today. That's the Park Hill playing field in this practice game, all in preparation for Cricket World Cup 2024. That's the T20 Cricket World Cup being held in the Caribbean and the United States. And of course, the final of this of these practice games will take place on Saturday. We'll come back here at the Park Hill playing field. After that, Nepal will depart St. Vincent and they'll head on to Texas, USA, where I understand they'll be having some practice sessions also. We'll be taking on Houston 11, and it'll be interesting to see in those passing.
Oh, definitely. I think they are looking forward for it.
More accustomed to New York and Florida, or Lauderdale, but Texas. That's pretty interesting.
Very much so. Had the opportunity of passing through Texas once. Right. So cricket really spreading its wings in a number of areas. I think there will be cricket in Long Island.
Yes.
During the World Cup.
Yes.
Those are areas that you're not known to hear a lot of.
Here comes Bertel, all dusted, but he's picked up the scalp of Melly, and this time the scarch is back. Ball is quickly back into the gloves of the keeper, but couldn't avoid that single. The end of over number 11, and the end of a very, very good over there from Bertel.
And a successful over as well.
Yes.
So it's 85, so the run rate dropping, and they would expect, and the Windward Islands would expect a few batters to come in and try to push things along. Descartes, he can hit the ball very far, strong lad, and he's off the mark. So just wait to see. 86 for 3 at the end of over number 11, and with Descartes on 1, Pascal, they would want a partnership between these two, and really push the pressure back on Nepal, because Nepal just about pushing the pressure onto the Windward Island batters. So he's airy from the northern end.
Driven into the offside, and Padel not being able to get it wrong in time. One more added to the total. It's now up to 87 for the loss of 3. That's 87 for 3. With an Volcanoes taking a target. Fielder is off the boundary, and just one more resulting. So they're certainly rotating the strike, the Windward Island Volcanoes, picking up the singles, but having lost those 2 quick wickets, we certainly want to consolidate here and press on outside the off stump and into that point position where there's Bertel picking it up, and no run resulting. Good outfield cricket there from Bertel. Avery now to
where are you going?
Well, Pascal was just simply there looking at the Scarties like, where are you hustling to? Got back in time nonetheless. Avery. And that's the reverse sweep. And there's Bertel diving neatly to his right there. Didn't pick up cleanly, but did enough to avoid the ball passing him and adding even more. They got a single in the process. It's now 89 for the loss of 3.
I certainly have saved the boundary.
Yes. So Stefan Pascal. This one is bold. And a really awful looking shot there from Pascal. And he looks disappointed, but I would have been disappointed with a shot like that. It really and truly was agricultural, as we said, and losing his stumps in the process. The Windward Islands now 89 for 4.
Well, I think a poor shot on the part of Pascal, because you must recognize that Airy has not been flighting the balls.
No shape whatsoever.
He's pushing it through, so it would hustle you. It's easier to play him on the front foot. There he was looking for a pull shot, and that was through him. The bounce has also done him, because he was looking for more bounce, but that one kept a little low, and it was through him before he completed the shot.
So Stefan Pascal back to the pavilion, and the new batter is Dylan Douglas, who had a good first game, scored 50 for the Windward Island Volcanoes in that losing cause, posted 196 in that game, and a lot will be expected of Douglas along with Descarte, who also would have supported Douglas in that opening game.
And Dylan Douglas, a very talented individual indeed. Good batter, good all-round player. He keeps wicket. He also bowls off spin. Very good in the field as well. So very, very talented, very grounded cricketer. And one would hope, for the sake of Windward Island Volcanoes, that he comes good again.
Well, Bertel is going to continue. And this is the 13th over. So
Nepal just about tightening the screws.
certainly. At one time, the Windward Islands were just over 10 runs per over as Bertel comes in to Descarte outside the off stump and left alone, having a look at the umpire as if it was wide, but umpire not interested. Considered to be a legal delivery. And Bertel tossing the ball from hand to hand. Moves in now to Descarte with that attempted reverse sweep and missed by the wicketkeeper. I believe this is going to be a bye. Let's see. Well, apparently would have gotten some bat
Seemed
on
to got some bat on it.
So not the area that he would have wanted that delivery to go, but getting a run in the process. And that's Descarte going on to 3. It's now 90 for the loss of 4. Bertel. When his leg breaks, comes in now. And this one knocked around the corner there by Douglas. Looked a little tentative, but got enough bat onto the ball. And in the process, a single getting off the mark. He's on to 1.
So he's off that dreaded 0. And Descarted left-hander comes back into strike. So left-hand, right-hand combination.
Fairly long run up here for Bertel. Comes in now to Descarte. This one hits into the arms of that's
Rohit, the Podell, the captain.
Yes.
Out
And
too long on.
good catch there from the Nepalese captain. And 91 for 5. Descarte, certainly who would have had a lot to offer to the Windward Island Volcanoes going back to the pavilion. Life might be a little bit more difficult going forward from here, Charlo.
Well, certainly, I think it will be very, very difficult. It looks like Ned who is making a result, but good running catch there by the captain. And took it. Their catching have been good, but the outground feeling has really, in some areas, left a lot to be desired.
So that's Rohit Podell, Nepalese captain, leading from the front as far as that catch was concerned. He's had some scrappy moments in the outfield. But as you said, Charlo, they've taken every opportunity that they've come their way in terms of catches in the Nepal team.
Definitely. And 4 of the batters have all been caught on the boundary.
Yes.
Except for Pascal, who was bold, playing a really atrocious shot.
Certainly. So, Darren Ned, a new batter. And Bertel, who's picked up 2 wickets, will continue from the southern end. Came good at the bat in that first. Almost single-handedly took the Nepal team home. Comes in now to bowl to Ned, and Ned is back. Just forces it into the offside. There's absolutely no run available.
You can see the buoyancy in terms of the Nepalese in the field.
Yes.
That's what success does.
Without a doubt. As Bertel. With his leg breaks. Coming out the bowl. The Ned. And Ned drives down to long on, and that's long off. Sorry, that's a well taken shot. 4 good runs there off the bat of Ned.
Oh, definitely a beautiful shot by Ned. But looking at Bertel, he reminds me so much of Rashid Khan, the leg spinner.
Yes. You're so correct, Charlo.
That was toss up, and Ned was launched into it and drove it sweetly through a bit in extra cover and mid off. And Captain Padel on did mid off boundary, just watched it go across the ropes.
And absolutely no chance there. So 95 with a loss of 5. That's the Volcanoes after 13 overs. And these two in the middle, in Ned and Douglas. Ned has already shown that he has the ability, he has the class, and we know what Dylan Douglas can do. So all is not lost here for this Windward Islands team.
So Lalit comes back into the attack.
Switching ends once again. Back to the northern end, the mountainous end, the hillside end here at the Parker playing field. Sun out in all its glory here this afternoon. But there's still that nice cooling breeze that's coming into our commentary position. Lalit. And this one, Douglas just works it calmly into the offside. They off for a quick single.
Comfortably taken.
Yes, Irie came around very quickly indeed. And picked up, quickly had the ball back into the glove of his wicketkeeper, but couldn't avoid that run. 96 for 5. So Lalit it is to continue. Now asking for the fielder just to come around a bit to that deep cover boundary. It's time to bowl to Ned. And Ned showing some respect there. Just working it back up along the pitch. Defensive mood. So Lalit will be happy with that. So to Captain Podell and the rest of this Nepalese team. As coming once again to bowl to Ned. And Ned gets one that jumped at him off of the pitch, but he was on top of it and just pushed it into the offside. One more to the total.
Soft hands and a really comfortable single taken by these two. Dylan Douglas, who have been rather quiet, and comes in to strike.
So Douglas with that 49 on his back. To this delivery, worked it into the head-on area. Fielder comes off the long-on fence, and just one more at it. So they're rotating the strikes. They're doing it in singles, but in the 14th over, there's that need for that operational boundary.
You need some boundaries.
So Nepal will be comfortable with this type of batting, and there's Douglas bowled.
In fact, it was Ned looking to white that all wide long on. Lost his stumps. House them knocked back in the process. So Windwards sink further into trouble.
98 for 6, and this is the 14th over. And Ned, as we have a look at the replay, head in the air and completely bowled there. So he goes back to the pavilion and
as makes his way out.
So Hooper, as we know,
can bat.
No rabbit with the bat. Yes.
Can bat. Can hit the ball a long way as well.
So there we see Ned not getting to the pitch of that one. Preconceived shot. And that's the whole matter, the pressure, not getting the boundaries. And Ned finding it necessary or wanting to certainly get over the rope. So push the scoring on. His wicket
That's
away.
what pressure does. Push you in that mood to want to do something, to push it on. And here it is. He did something rash and paid the penalty.
So Asif Hooper now we'll settle. Lalit is in. And back on the crooks it into the onside. The bowler fielding to his own bowling. And that's the end of over number 14.
99.
With just 6 more overs to go and 81 to get. 36 deliveries and 81 runs to get.
It's not impossible.
Yeah, but
we really have to see some serious ball beating to get there.
So those are the two batters in the middle. Dave Hooper and Dylan Douglas, who have lost his helmet. Both batsmen, as a matter of fact, without helmet. As it's been slow bowling here from the Nepalese team. Bertel will continue from the southern end.
He's enjoying his job.
Yeah, you can see it on his face. He's really enjoying his time out there. tossing ball from hand to hand. And as Asifuka just marking his guard, doing a bit of cleaning there on the pitch area. And they now settle as Bertel opening batter and doing some bowling. Hooper down the wicket, sweeps, and out caught. Good catch there by Airy.
Their catching has been outstanding.
So Asif Hooper being caught in the mid-wicket fence for this Windward Island team. Straight into the arms there of Airy, making absolutely no mistake. And Nepal claiming their 7th wicket. The Volcanoes under pressure.
Definitely, and Larry Edwards makes his way out. But their catching really have been outstanding.
Well, it's one of the things that even during the break, we saw them doing a lot of practicing with regards to the catching, and certainly this paid off. And every single opportunity being presented here today off the bat of the Volcanoes player, as far as catches are concerned, being taken by this Nepal team. So 99 for 7.
So one left-hander replacing the other, Larry Edwards.
So Edwards, this time with a cap, will face to Bertel. And pushes into the offside, and again you see that misfield. That's an area that they certainly have to work with on this Nepal team.
Fortunately, he didn't go far, didn't give away an extra run, but their ground feeling has been very poor.
Bertel. Edwards tucks it into that mid-wicket position, short mid-wicket. And the two fielders converted on it, and Lalit and Irie winning the run, or the race, I should say, Irie.
Exuberant Irie.
So, but that will continue as a 100 is on the board for the Volcanoes, but they need another 80 to get victory here. Only 3 wickets in hand, and that's Dylan Douglas working it off his legs for one more, and 101 now for the loss of 7. So from a stage of 70 without loss to 101 for 7.
Some 31 runs.
Yeah, not good work there for the Windward Island team. As Bertel will come in the ball to Larry Edward, and Edward looking to just work this one somewhere between that point and short third man position and getting the batter onto the ball and into the gloves there of the keeper. Still 101 for 7. Bertel. And this one is driven to that mid-on position, and well, had he struck the stump there, it might have very well been interesting.
It would have been. And Edwards, he goes on to 202, so some 78 still needed.
But 5 overs to go. So
30, 78 from 30.
Not a situation where you
need more than 2 runs and over.
Right.
So it's going to be a big axe, particularly when you have the lower order.
Well, it's exactly 14 runs for over.
With Douglas being the main batter, but he's at the non-striker's end.
Well, it's 78, sorry. It's more than 14 runs for over, Charlo.
14 point. Try to do the math.
15.6 runs for over. So it's a tall order for this Windward Islands team, as we see with a bit of a delay, both batters having a look at the player's pavilion, and helmet is now being brought out as it's going to be Gulshan being reintroduced into the attack. Batters, of course, making sure that they have that protective headgear in their helmets. And there we see, just having a look at the wonderful surroundings here at Park Hill. Lone player all the way out in that deep position. That's Sumpal. But Gulshan is going to continue with the bowling here for the Nepal team. Windwards gets it off. And again, that was close.
Had that struck, he certainly would have been making his way back to the pavilion. But yes, urgency on the part of Douglas to get the strike.
We noticed that. Definite urgency. And he's a player who can certainly turn it around for the Windward Island Volcanoes.
Certainly something that the crowd would enjoy at this particular moment. If Douglas can really to get into his strides and take the bowlers on.
There he goes. High, hard, that's into the hills, that's 6 runs. Wonderful shot off the bat.
Well, I just mentioned it. I just mentioned it and the crowd erupted.
So, Dylan Douglas showing his intention. We're into the 16th over, 4 more after this. And that was literally climbing the mountain.
Well, definitely, and there must be a replacement ball because you're not going to get there.
There's no way you're going to retrieve the ball out of there. As you have a look at that replay, high and hard over on bushed area, hilly bushed area here at Park Hill. There's no way you're going to find that ball, as we see already in the middle. The umpire receiving the reserve ball. That's umpire Butler. Just having a look at it and tosses it on now to Gulshan.
So we see Gulshan just throwing it to his captain. Captain had a look at it. He's satisfied and gives it back to Gulshan. So he will have to continue.
Gulshan breaks into his stride now. The ball to Douglas again. And this time, in defense, pushes it back up along the onside. Equal to his own bowling. There's Gulshan. And some good fielding there on the leg side. Total remains at 109 for 7. So a lot depends on Douglas here for the Windward Island Volcanoes. .71 runs required as Gulshan comes in now. And this one, deft touch off the bat. They threw for 1. And, well, that should not have been a second. And, well, Douglas decided to stay in his ground. And it's just 1 wide. It's now 110 for 7.
But you see, it's good field placing on the part of the captain Padu. He had the third man right in place, so it was neatly played by Douglas, but it was only kept to a single.
That's Edwards punching into the onside, and we'll pick up another single. The Volcanoes.
Lord Nelson.
Yes.
1-1-1.
1-11. Skipping a hop.
Famous David Shepherd.
Yes.
Sheppy.
We do remember him. 111 for 7. As Gulshan comes in now to bowl this time to Dylan Douglas, and Douglas is bowled.
Slow delivery. Deceived. And I think that's the writing on the wall for the Windwards.
Well, Nelson had his say.
Very much so. And they see Otney Lewis making his way out. There's no slouch with the bat, really. But there was Douglas deceived there by the slow delivery.
Yes, we just threw the shot and we haven't even, there you go, way through the shot before the delivery made its way in. And leg stump knocked back. It's 111 for 8. The Volcanoes certainly in some huge problems here this afternoon at the Park Hill Playing Field.
Middle stump knocked back. So some 16 overs completed. 111 now for 8. And
so Otney Lewis, the new batter, in, and with just 4 overs to go, some 24 deliveries, 79 runs required, 2 wickets in hand. It's a mountain to climb here this afternoon for the Windward Island Volcanoes in this practice game. $111 for 8. As change in bowling from the southern end, as Bertel would have finished his spell. This one worked nicely down to fine leg, and either gets around, picking it up. So 1 more to the total there for the Windward Island Volcanoes.
is it Bohara?
It is Bohara, who's bowling from the southern end. So Otney Lewis will have his first strike here this afternoon. Can he do the unthinkable for the Windward Islands? As Bohara moves in. And 1 up in the block hole. And straight to that short third man position, or run resulting.
Had to come very hard down on that one. He flew down to that short third man.
Well, the third man is now being pushed right back on the fence by Captain Rohit Patel. And Bohara sensing victory here for Nepal. Comes in now into this delivery. Lewis tries down to long on, and just 1 more added to the total. So Nepal sitting quite comfortable. And certainly the Volcanoes, in terms of the shot selection, that's where they would have faltered.
Definitely.
Bahara to continue from the southern end. Bowling to Larry Edwards, and Edwards,
He's slapping that.
but
Tennis style.
again is just that single.
Nepal would not be hurt by these singles. They're content to just give away the singles. The boundaries are not coming.
Bahara comes in yet again to bowl to Otney Lewis. Lewis gets one right up. And
smart bowling on the
17. And at the end of it, 114 for the last 8. Screws are definitely on here for the Island Volcanoes.
66 needed off 18.
That's difficult to wiggle your way out, Charlo.
Wow. And particularly when you are in the lower half of the batting lineup.
Certainly.
So Lewis like Sampal, who is going to pick it up from the northern end. He'll be bowling to Larry Edwards. 114 for 8. 18 deliveries, legal deliveries remaining. Some 66 runs needed. And certainly going to be a big axe. Over 20 runs and over. Sampal. Edwards looking to pull that outer square leg. Timing it well, he gets a single. The total goes on to 115. And Edwards with that, he goes on to 7. Lewis and 1 comes into strike. 115 for 8. Nepal sensing victory here at Park Hill in the second practice game. They won the first by some 4 wickets. And when it all looks dead and buried, Airy and Sampal really pulled them out of the hole and saw them home to victory. Sampal to Lewis. And he's fanning as if switching at a fly. Misses and taken cleanly by the keeper.
Well, it's ironic you mentioned Sampal and Airy pulling Nepal out of the hole. Well, the depths of the Wooded Islands at this point in time, Edwards and Lewis certainly will find it very, very difficult to get their way.
Definitely.
Out of the mire at the end at this point in time.
So, Lewis, Larry Edwards called him down, had a word with him. The tall right-hander now settles. And he's slipping that high and hard. That's gone. Clearing the thing that's landed somewhere on one of the park buses.
Well,
at that northern end. Hope that there are no broken glasses.
Let's hope such is not the case. And a big blow off the bat there of Otney Lewis. 121 for 8. That was really a lusty blow there from Lewis.
Just not getting into the slot. And I know that he can bat. I've seen him at the local VPL. And Sampal would want to make amends. Lewis talks that this would beat the fine leg into the fence. 4 runs. Let's wait. Is there a signal from umpire? Yes, a leg by signal now by umpire Butler. And the total goes on to 125. Sampal losing his radar there. And Lewis looking to glance that, brushing his pad in the process, beating the keeper and down to the fence for 4.
Well, the boundaries will do it for the Winter Island Volcanoes. They'll keep it up. They need to keep it up, I should say.
Yes, bringing a bit of excitement to the crowd here
Yes.
at Park Hill. Otney Lewis, Aka Geese. You can hear the word of encouragement calling out to Geese to do something. And he swings and misses. And a wild swing, luckily for him.
Well, it's quite clear. He's decided to throw the kitchen sink at everything. Que sera. What will be, will be. Yes.
If I connect, I connect. And Sample, rather businesslike, gets back to his mark very quickly.
Quite a diminutive bowler he is. To Lewis.
That's in the air. Someone who's circling underneath it. This could be dangerous. Oh, brilliantly taken.
That's Anil, and despite the fact that it looks like, is that Rohit?
I see Anil was coming in from the backward point. The other fielder, he was running back. Anil was in the position, but he really took the catch. I'm sure he would have seen the fielder in his eye line. And I was rather fearful that a collision could have been serious.
Well, taken safely there in the end. No damage. Only damage is to the Winter Island Volcanoes as they sink even further and facing down the barrel of defeat here this afternoon.
So 125 for 9. There it is. Let's look at it. So Redhead joins Larry Edwards. Final pair at the crease. Can we get some magic?
Well, there's 65 runs needed. There's some 13 deliveries remaining. It's almost at what? Almost. Oh, it's a mountain to climb. He's trying to do some maths mentally there. It's indeed a mountain to climb.
12:55 needed off 12. To deal with 6.
Certainly. This one is works on the onside, offside. There by Edward. So they held up momentarily, just a change of bat there on the part of Larry Wood. So Edwards gets that brings some magic too.
Well, I'm hoping. I'm hoping that it does. But we are in the final moments. Edward, he's on 7. Nicholas Redhead. Non-striker, he's yet to face a delivery.
So Bahara to continue. To Larry Edward. Edward gets one of the pulls around, and in the end, not so much good work. That's 4 runs.
Well, I think he was rather casual getting around. And in the end, he just bubbled past it, but into defense for 4. So 129 now for 9. 51 still needed.
Of 11 deliveries. So Boundaries needed here for the Wooden Islands with the last wicket pair of Edward and Redhead. O'Hara. This one has wrapped him on the pad, but he's a fair distance down the pitch there.
Redhead seems to have no interest in at all in getting down to the striker's end.
Well,
Maybe much better to not out and not.
than to be out or not. As O'Hara comes in once again. This one he pulls. Lovely shot. A good piece of fielding down there by Rohit Padel, captain. And now Redhead will certainly have his chance to face.
It was rather, I think Ed was just looking for 2, but that would have been suicidal. And Redhead had none of it.
So,
long range conversation between the two.
O'Hara now taking his first strike here, Redhead, Nicholas Redhead. And this one is wrapped on the pad. Up goes that dreaded finger. And that's victory for Nepal here this afternoon.
Winning by some 49 runs.
Big victory indeed. And certainly a clinical win on their part.
Definitely. I think they came back very good indeed. A good start by the Windwards, but Nepal clawed their way back. And in the end, coming out with a commanding victory here against the Windward Island Volcanoes, winning by some 49 runs. 179 for 9, Nepal in their 20 overs. And Windward Island Volcanoes being bowled out for 130 in 18.3 overs. And so Nepal taking a 2-0 lead in their 3-match practice series here at Park Hill, with the final game coming up on Saturday right here at this venue. And certainly the Nepal would cherish the moments as they try to prepare for World Cup 2024 here in the Caribbean and the Americas. And you can see players now making their way off to exchange a bit of pleasantries. And the work has been done. Nepal coming out victorious. A 2-0 lead.
Well, I'm here with Rohit Padel, second time around in a couple of days, another victory for Nepal, and you must be really happy.
In today's game, I think it was very great to see our bowlers to step up, and especially I think the wicket was on the slow side, so I think we utilized it and we bowled really well.
All right, outfield was fantastic. The catching, in my opinion, there's still a bit of work to be done in your feeling, your impressions.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we feel proud of our fielding, and today we executed the plans which were given, and the way we fielded in the outfield, I think that was very good. And yeah, we know where areas to improve, especially in the ground fielding. So we will work on it.
Now, you're 2-0 up in this practice series. Of course, the opportunity is there for other players. Are we going to see that on Saturday?
Yeah, absolutely. We won the two games, but still we want to win this series by 3-0. And yeah, at the same time, we want to give opportunity to the few players also. So we'll try that also. And yeah, we want to finish this series on high note.
No, you're going to be playing your games here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, quite naturally acclimatizing and getting accustomed to the conditions here. What does it feel in the camp generally?
Yeah, absolutely. The main plan is to come here and be used to the clock, and especially the way we are utilizing this, and we are getting used to this St. Vincent condition and climate. I think it will help us in the tournament, especially in the second half of the tournament, where we will play our two games here against South Africa and Bangladesh. So yeah, I think it's a good preparation for us.
I don't know if you've gotten a chance just yet to soak up any bit of this lovely country of ours.
Yeah, absolutely. I think tomorrow we'll go and look at St. Vincent, how lovely it is, and looking at where we stay in the hotel, it looks very nice. So we will go tomorrow and explore.
Padel, all the best and congratulations and thanks for being a part of what's happening here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Rohit Padel, the captain of the Nepal team, victorious today, a 49-run victory, a more commanding victory. That was the case on the first game that was played last Tuesday at Park Hill. Certainly a pleasure, bringing it to here on VC3. We had to say thanks to our production team, but to all you folks who followed us on our Facebook Live, on our YouTube channel, those who watched it here on channel 114 here in SVG. Don't forget, of course, Cricket World Cup, very much part of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We're hosting 5 T20 games. And as you noticed, the light towers, they're up at Arnesvale. Of course, the installation with regards to the lights are continuing. The preparations for the World Cup in St. Vincent and the Grenadines definitely ongoing. So you go get your tickets at Career City Store. You can also go online and purchase those tickets for Cricket World Cup 2024. Got to thank, of course, Cecil Charles and the entire production team here today. Thanks for being a part of it. And we'll be back with you, of course, on Saturday for the final game when Nepal will engage the Windward Island Volcanoes at a practice game here at Park Hill.
Watch how we got to be dripping, sweat, we also